Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 129 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. So there will be times when you've made a ton of progress, and congratulations for that. You are now seeing the fruits of your labor, and at that point, we often think about stopping and pausing. We wonder if we want to keep going hard or not towards this endeavor. Do we keep climbing? And how do you keep forward momentum during those moments? And when you've made a ton of progress, and when you're dreading the idea of having to continue all of that hard work, or you're worrying that you can't sustain the effort, this podcast is for you. You'll want to listen in again and again to today's podcast on keeping forward momentum. So it is October almost, friends, by the time you listen to this. I'm recording this in September. But I feel a real change. The leaves will be falling, and I think nature, again, is always such a beautiful reflection of what's to come. And I have felt so many more energetic movements. I think my sensitivity has just been growing in the last month or so. I've noticed that I'm remembering my dreams a lot more, and I'm not questioning as many things, and I am becoming more clear. So with that being said, I want to share this podcast today with you because keeping forward momentum is all around energetic management. It is not just, can I keep this going, but how and what and when and what is the best. And when our mind is so clouded with these questions of right, wrong, we have a hard time being confident. So I want to, through the transmission of this podcast, send to you my sense of certainty, my level of confidence, so you can borrow some of that energy as you think about the things that are on your mind today, how you want to move forward as well. Let's start first with the fallacy of progress. And I want to address this because there is this notion that we always have to keep moving forward. But forward will look very different for each person. We often think forward means bigger goals. Maybe it means more money, more time, a sense of quote unquote more. But what if progress and forward movement actually looked like less? What if it looked like dropping away all the things that we know to be true? What if it meant releasing everything and starting again? The reason that this is such an important topic to address is because many achievers spend most of their lives in search of forward momentum. You take decades to achieve, to create, to build, and you will often reach a point where you realize that this isn't exactly what you came to planet Earth for. You'll start thinking that the more that you were in search for was really an illusion. It was a dream, yet you thought it was real life. And then what now? When you get to that place, you're thinking, what now? And this is where I come in when you've either done two things. The first is that you've hit a breaking point where it's too much. You don't want to keep living life this way. This can look like subtle hints, like a sense of dissatisfaction, or maybe even just seeing yourself in the mirror one day and thinking, this isn't who I thought I would be. Or maybe you are taking a hike, you're on vacation somewhere, and start feeling like you're done with the job, the person, or the way that you've been showing up in the world. The second is when you've hit the forward progress point, you've gotten a taste of what evolution, ascension, growth, higher consciousness looks like, and then you want more. You're tapping into who you think you really are. You're challenging yourself in new and different ways, and you're realizing that you're at the tip of the iceberg. And that's a big one, is that instead of thinking, this is the end, I've finally arrived, you realize I am just beginning. And you notice that life looks pretty amazing with just what you're doing now. So if that's the case, imagine 10x of this, 100x of this. Life could be so much more expansive than you realize. So you realize that you've turned the corner, but you want to know what's around the next corner. You want to stop living accidentally, stop having these quote unquote amazing experiences just happen, and you want it to be more intentional. So keeping forward movement at this point will often look hard, maybe overwhelming, what to do now, and exciting at the same time. Oh my goodness, it's going to be amazing. But how do you keep up the energy that you had when you started on your journey, or whatever last, ascension you just had? How do you continue to believe when the results don't look the way they used to? And how do you decide to keep going even when you get tired? How do you know when to rest, when to integrate everything you've been learning? And how do you know what's next? And this is what keeps you up at night. This idea of sustainability, this idea of, can I or will I keep this up? This idea that maybe you don't have to keep going and you don't want to keep going, but you feel so guilty and sometimes even trapped by this ivory tower that you've created for yourself. What if people depend on you? And what if you depend on you? And this is often why people think money or a partner or the best spiritual vision or perfect health will solve their problems. They believe that the arrival of their goals will be what makes it all easier. And the truth is that it does and it doesn't. You'll get to that point. And the work you've done before will be easier. You're that person now that knows how to think, knows how to believe, and actually be the person that has those results. It's programmed into your body from your mind all the way down into the fabric of your being. You've done this. You've done this. What you haven't done is to sustain this new level where you are now. And what you haven't done is sustain this person you are who holds a certain level of thinking, actions, and emotional vibration. You've entered a new dimension in your life, but you don't know if you're just visiting for a brief period of time or if this is your new home. Yet you know that this is where you need to be, not just visiting from time to time. You want to be that person who can consistently achieve their goals, not just for yourself, but for the benefit of others. You want to live into that vision and that version of yourself that is clear, that is purposeful, that is confident and happy. And you know also that it's what you're here to do, to continue to deepen your relationship with yourself and learn how to develop your intuition to the point where you trust yourself. You let go and you understand life because you understand how the world works. So forward momentum will shift its definition. It will move its definition as you shift and move your definitions of what life means to you and what you're here to do. You will access it, this forward momentum, at different points in your timeline of growth. Not everything looks the same, and that is on purpose. Sometimes the things that create the illusion that you're not growing are the exact things you will grow through if you allow yourself to accept them into your life. You can ask yourself, what am I learning now through this? And the hardest thing for achievers to do is to pause, to stop the movement, and then ask the questions that are of service to themselves. So you will likely be excellent at doing this for others, but not for yourself. And there's a sense of needing to carry the load for others, to do the hard work so that others won't have to do it. It is a benevolent intention that serves many purposes. It helps you to succeed. It helps you to be a great partner, friend, a team player, and you will be so reliable to others around you. Yet when your soul's growth requires you to pivot, requires you to change the way you show up in the world by stopping or pausing or not serving other people the same way you have been, this pause, this stopping, this changing is the hardest thing for you to do. Yet it is the most important thing for you to do right now. When I work with my clients, we tap into that next level of their soul's growth. It takes time to do that because they have to stop what they're doing and reflect during our sessions, during our live events and retreats. They literally have to find ways to stop all the doing in their lives so they can take 30 minutes or an hour out of their week or a week out of their 6 months or a year to create a whole new energy from which they can then operate. And instead of working at a lower vibration of doing more, of hustling, of pushing, of overcoming, they go to a higher vibration of confidence, certainty, and deliberate action that's fueled by this unshakable knowing that this is exactly what they need to be doing now. Exactly what they need to be doing right now. And there's a big difference between creating decades of work with the push energy versus the pull energy, and the results will pale in comparison. Yet you won't know it until you've done the work to change the energy and you see how it looks like to keep moving forward without doing things the exact same way you've been doing them before. So it is possible to do this today. You can pause even for 1 minute to ask yourself, do I want to keep working this way? If you want to keep moving forward the way you have been doing things, or if you want to make a shift towards working differently, which one is for you? If the answer is yes, I want to make a shift towards working differently, and that you believe that you can do it differently, then the next question to ask is if you think you need help. If you do, then the next question to ask is whether or not or how coaching could help you on your journey. If it feels like it makes sense for you to explore spiritual work, to explore spiritual achievement coaching, where we work together to develop your intuition and energy so that you can achieve your personal and business goals with spiritual fuel, then I invite you to join me by reaching out at www.mayemson.com/contact. Our next call, which I'm really excited about, will be focused on this new relationship with you. We have trainings that I release, and that's the next one that is coming out for everyone that is a client. It will be on this renewed relationship with you, your identity, who you are versus who you want to be in order for you to match that next level of growth. And we will cover the energy and the intuitive work that has to occur in order for you to sustain momentum effortlessly. So this is what's waiting for you. It is what's coming. There are live retreats and events coming as well that will all be part of this coaching work together, and you will have access to it all. So I am so thrilled and excited to be deepening how much I am sharing with you about the intuitive process, the energetic work behind it, and help you grow as a human being and a spiritual being. So again, reach out at www.mayemson.com/contact today if you want to learn more. So that's it for this week, my friends. Have an amazing one, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.